Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. How do you do? We hope that you and your family are fine and enjoying good health. Dear students, attend your virtual classes and do your homework regularly. It's your science class, so students get your science book. Now my dear students, in our previous class, we have started the unit number 1 and this is the chapter number 1 and the title of this chapter is Plants. Dear students, in our previous class, we have recognized the different ways in which plants reproduce. After that, we have also discussed the different structure of seed. Now today we are going to learn about the parts of plant. So I have a video for you that is based upon today's topic. Now dear student, let's watch the video.
Parts of the flower. Watch a video regarding the parts of the flower and note the important parts of the flower in this video. Let's start.
In our last assignment, this is pedicel, which is a green color stalk. Then this broader part is a receptacle, and all other parts are arranged in 4. The first whorl is of green sepals. Second is colorful petals. Third is stamens, which is the male reproductive part. Fourth is carpel or pistil, which is the female reproductive part. Stamen consists of a long stalk called filament and a swollen head called anther. It consists of numerous very small pollens, which are male reproductive cells. Pistil consists of a sticky structure called stigma, attached to a long tube-like structure called style, and style ends in a swollen part called ovary. And this ovary contains the female reproductive cells, ovules.
Points to remember. Identify the parts of the flower. First one is pedicel. Second one is receptacle. Third is sepal. Fourth is petal. This is anther. This is filament. Stigma. Style. Ovary. Anther and filament are collectively called stamen, while stigma, style, and ovary are collectively called pistil. Stamen is the male reproductive part of a flower. Pistil is a female reproductive part of a flower. Fertilization and pollination. Watch a video of fertilization and pollination and note the important point how fertilization and pollination occur in plants. Let's start.
When pollens from the anther of stamen joins with the ovules present in the ovary, we call it fertilization. Let's revise. When pollens from the anther of stamen joins with the ovules present in the ovary, it is called fertilization. And fertilization forms the seeds inside the ovary. And after fertilization, this ovary changes into a fruit. That's why seeds are there inside the fruit. Now let's see what is pollination. Pollination is a process by which pollen is transferred from the anther, that is, the male part, to the stigma, which is the female part of the plant. thereby enabling the fertilization and reproduction in turn. Now let's see how pollination occurs or how pollens reach stigma. There are various ways. How do pollens reach the stigma? Flowers have bright petals and strong fragrance that attract insects and other animals. Also, flowers have thin, nutritious honey-like liquids called nectar inside of them that acts as food for many insects. Butterflies, bees, and many other insects feed on the nectar. So they visit the flower to suck nectar. While sucking nectar from the flowers, they are in no way harmed by the insects. Insects feed on the nectar, and while doing so, the pollens from the anther gets attached to the body of the insects. And when these insects visit some other flower for nectar, pollens get to the sticky top of the pistils, and by the way of long tubes called style. Pollens reach the ovary where ovules are present, and fertilization occurs, leading to the formation of seeds. So this process of pollens reaching the sticky tops of pistils is called pollination. And pollens may reach to the stigma of the same flower or stigma of different flowers. When pollens reach the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. And when pollens reach the stigma of different flowers of the same kind, it's called cross-pollination. So kids, we now know what is fertilization and what is pollination. Now we will learn about different agents of pollination. Insects like bees, butterflies, beetles, etc. are the main agents of pollination. Birds and mammals too pollinate some flowers. Wind also acts as an agent of pollination. Water too acts as an agent of pollination. So kids, today we learned about fertilization and pollination. Now go ahead and take a quiz to learn more. Bye-bye.
Points to remember. What is fertilization? The process in which pollens from anther join with the ovule present in the ovary is called fertilization. After fertilization, ovaries swell into a fruit. Seeds are present inside the fruit. What is pollination? Pollination is the transfer of the pollens from anther to the stigma of the flower. Petals of the flower are colorful, which attract the insects like bees. What is nectar? Flowers have a thin honey-like liquid called nectar. Honeybee, butterfly feed on nectar. What is the process of fertilization? Pollens from anther attached to the body of the insects. When these insects sit on the other flower, these pollens fall onto the stigma of the flower. From stigma, pollen reaches to the ovary through a long neck of the pistil and fertilization occurs. How many types of the pollination are? There are two types of the pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. What is self-pollination? When pollens fall on the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. And what is cross-pollination? When pollens reach stigma of the flower of another plant of the same type is called cross-pollination. So here we have an assignment. Answer the following question on your notes. Watch a video of seed dispersal and note the important point regarding the dispersal of seed. Let's start.
Dispersal of seeds. Plants need adequate space to grow properly. If all of them grow under the parent plant and do not get enough space, many of them will die in these conditions. When they will not get enough water, mineral salts or sunlight required for them grow, they will fight against each other for their needs and the weaker ones will die. That is why seeds need to be scattered away from the parent plants. This process of scattering or spreading of seeds to different places is known as dispersal of seeds. Dispersal of seeds happen in four ways: through water, wind, animals, and explosion of the fruit. These are known as agents of dispersal.
Points to remember. Plants use adequate space to grow. Plants require water, light, and minerals to grow. If plants grow under the parent plant, they will not get enough space and die. That is why seeds need to be scattered away from the parent plant. Points to remember. What is seed dispersal? The process of scattering the seed away from the parent plant is called seed dispersal. How many ways of the seed dispersal are? There are four ways of the seed dispersal. Number one, by water. Number two, by wind. Number three, by animal. And number four, by explosion. Watch the video and note the ways of seed dispersal and note the important points of the ways of seed dispersal. Let's start.
Scattering by wind. Some seeds have long and fine hair on them. Seeds like maple, dandelion, drumstick, madar, and hiptage have wings or tufts of hair on them. These hair or wings help them to float in the wind. Scattering by water. Some plants like lotus and coconut grow in or near water. The fruits and seeds of these plants are easily dispersed by flowing water. The coconut has a thick coverage of fiber and lotus plant has a spongy part that help them to float. So, the seeds reach far away from their parent plants. Scattering by animals. Humans and animals eat fruits that contain seeds. We throw away the seeds after eating fruits like mangoes, oranges, apples, cherries, and plums. The small hard seeds of guava, etc., are thrown out of our bodies with the waste. All such seeds are carried far away from the parent plants. Seeds of many plants have stiff hair, hooks, or spines. These seeds stick to our clothes and the fur or skin of animals and are carried far away by these animals. Scattering by explosion of fruit. Some fruits like pea, balsam, geranium, and touch-me-not plants explode on drying. Their seeds are thrown out and scattered away from the parent plants. Know this, there are nearly 380,000 different kinds of plants on the earth. They are found everywhere except places which are completely dark and dry.
Points to remember. Dispersal by wind. Some seeds of the plant like dandelion have wings and tons of a long fine hairs that help them to scatter away from the parent plant. Dispersal by water. Some plants like coconut and lotus grow near the water. Seeds of these plants have covering or sponge-like structures which help them to scatter away from their parent plant through water. Dispersal by animal. Human and animals eat fruit which contains seeds that thrown away after eating. Seeds of these plants have hooks and spines that attached to the clothes and hairs of the animals and scattered away from the parent plant. Dispersal by explosion. Some plants disperse their seed through explosion when fruit ripe, causing them to crack unevenly and throw the seeds away from the parent plant.
Okay, my dear students, I have exercise for you. This is the exercise portion that is present on your book. So please open page number 16. So this is the page number 16. Okay, dear students, what are powdery substance found on the anther of a flower? That powdery substance is called as pollen grains. Pollination that occurs between different flowers on different parts is called cross pollination because the flowers and parts are different. Okay, a seed develop into seedling through the process is called germination. Okay, germination is the process in which seed develop into a seedling. The male reproductive organ in a flower is called stamen. So correct this one. This statement is true. Fill in the blanks. An insect visit a flower for its nectar. So write NEC nectar. TER, both spellings are used for this purpose. So NECTAR. The dash present in the seed, the embryo, EMBRYO, the embryo present in the seed. Okay. Leaves contains petals. Leaves contain petals. Okay, that trap the energy from sunlight. Fruits dispersed by water float on water and have a waterproof covering. Right here, waterproof covering. WATER, water, PRWF, proof covering. Now my dear students, here are true false for you. Pollen grains are transferred to the stigma. True. Anther releases release pollen grains. Yes, this statement is also true. The seed coat is also called as cotyledon. False. The ovary develops to become the fruit. True. Here are some question answers. There are 5 questions. We are also discussed this question in our next slide. Now let's move toward the 5th one. Unscramble the letters. Here some letters are unscrambled. Now we are going to make a word from these unscrambled letters. What is this? This is coconut, and the spelling of coconut is COCO, coco and UT nut, coconut. So this word is the unscrambled letter. These letters are unscrambled and the proper word that is formed through this word क्या बनता है? Coconut. This is sepal. Here is the picture of sepal. SEPAL. This is cotyledon. COTY, coty, LE, cotyledon, cotyledon. Now my dear student, this is question number 6. Label the parts of the following diagram given below. Dear student, this question is for your homework. Try to write all the parts. Try to label this diagram by yourself. Now my dear students, these are question answers. This is the question number 4 and this part contains how many questions? 6 questions. Let us read one by one and see the answer of all questions. Describe the kind of seed dispersed by air. What is the kind of seed that are dispersed by air? Here is the answer. The seeds that dispersed by air are small, light, have wings like structure and glide in the air. Okay, write this answer on your neat notebook. What are the factors that allow pollination to occur? Here are the factors: wind, water, explosive actions and animals. These things allow the process of pollination. What is the difference between self-pollination and cross-pollination? Here is the difference between self-pollination and cross-pollination and it is also discussed in our video very deeply. Okay, write the answer of this question. Let's move toward the question number 4. And the question number 4 is, what would happen if all seeds fell under the parent plant? So this is the answer. If all seeds fell under the parent plants or in the place, there would be competition among parent plant and seedling for sunlight, water and nutrition. As a result, many seedlings would not survive. कि अगर वो पेरेंट प्लांट में ही गिर जाएं तो वो दोबारा से सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है, उनका एक प्लांट नहीं बनेगा. Let's move toward the question number 5. And the question number 5 is, how does dispersion of seed take place? Dispersion is take place by different things, by wind, by water, by insects, by explosive material also. So write this question. Question number 5, F part, how does a plant grow from a seed? Plant grow from a seed through the process of germination. You can also write here the process and definition of germination. So students, complete these all questions on your neat notebook. Students, it's time for your homework and your homework is read chapter number 1 thoroughly from your book and understand all the concepts that we have learned today. Write exercise full. Okay, you have to write all fill in the blanks, true, false, MCQs, question answers on your neat notebook. This is your homework. So my dear students, I hope that you have understood today's lecture. If you have any question or you still feel difficulty in understanding anything, call me at school's number. I'll answer your all queries. Dear students, complete all the tasks that are assigned to you in 2 days and share the picture of your homework at school WhatsApp number. That's all for today. See you next time. Take care. Stay home, stay safe and Allah Hafiz.